So today we will continue with electric vehicles, and today we're sort of comparing between BYD, which is the Chinese brand, and also Tesla, which is the American brand. Now, both companies say that their batteries are the safest in the world. Here's some advertising from BYD, made in China. And over the last year, we have seen quite a few videos on Twitter and YouTube and social media like Instagram and TikTok, etc., with some battery fires from the Chinese brand of BYD. And these fires take a long time to put out, and they can recombust, and some estimates say 13,000 liters of water are needed to make the fire disappear, so to speak, compared to a normal gas guzzling car. Now, you may think I'm biased towards BYD. Well, let's have a look at the same of a Tesla, which caught fire as well. And I can do it again with a Tesla. Here is some advertising from BYD. At the top it says 8-year, 160,000 kilometer battery warranty, a battery warranty. And there a 6-year, 150,000 kilometer vehicle warranty. Terms and conditions apply, but they didn't show me the terms and conditions. What would they be? Big question mark. And we all know that if you change a battery in one of these Teslas or BYD, it's near enough the price of a brand spanking new car. There have also been some rumors like this. Tesla is believed to be using BYD's new Blade battery, which is an LFP cell packaged in a long blade-like formula. The new Model Y with these cells recently went in production in Berlin, and now the Tesla fans of the local German TFF forums are already finding out some interesting differences. Now, when you see something like made in China, you always sort of have serious doubts because of that reputation. It just has this bad reputation. When you were a kid and you had a plastic toy from the 1970s, for example, and it said made in China, and after 2 weeks this toy car broke, for example, that you bought, and what did your father say? Made in China. That's the bad reputation that China has got to get rid of. Now, I have some products here. For example, you may see the camera there. This is a Chinese, made in China, Chinese brand camera. It's really good. And it took me about 2 or 3 months looking at it very, very closely for I haven't had any problems with this, but it's only 5 months old. Now, compared to my GoPro, which I have here in my drawer for my camera, here it is. There's my GoPro. The battery gets bigger. It's a great camera, don't get me wrong, but I actually prefer to use this one now rather than that. But this is, you could say, an American brand. This is a Chinese one. Another one is these drones that you get. It's called from a company called DJI, I think, and these are world recognized. So there are some brands in China which are really good. Usually these are private companies like Insta behind you, and also like these drones that people seem to fly. So that's making the reputation better. When you see a BYD advertised for $60,000, just as an example, and then you see Tesla for the same price, which one are you going to go to? It's also related to the charging stations. It seems to be far more convenient to have a Tesla with the Tesla charging network compared to the other ones which don't seem to be more valid. And the government is just pushing it down our throat to get electric. And as we mentioned sort of yesterday, the government are still driving gas guzzling cars and they're not leading by example. Surely if they want this, then they should be riding in electric vehicles. And it seems to be a general trend that the electric vehicles are going down. They're incredibly expensive. The service is mega expensive. The charging is 45 minutes compared to filling up with gasoline, which will take you 5-10 minutes, obviously in a petrol station, is there. And a lot of these charging stations are just out with no wind protection or rain or sun or even snow. So charging, getting out of your car into the elements at wintertime is something that they haven't crossed their mind. There are some that are covered. I have done a lot of research over this. And when you look at the BYD, it's very difficult to actually find any negative reviews apart from the tires aren't the best in the world, or the electronics inside with the center panel that rotates 180 degrees. Wow, that's so good when you're driving, yeah. Whatever with that. I think everything inside needs to be simplified and not overcomplicated and user-friendly. But the batteries are always the big concern. Now, there is a company in China called NIO, N-I-O, and let's have a look at one of their vehicles. I don't know when this was. But what they have is a battery swapping station. So you can go to one of these charging stations and everyone is charging their BYD or their Tesla, and they have to wait 45 minutes but these Neos, you can actually go into sort of like this, like car wash thing. And within a minute, they will actually swap the battery over. Then it's their responsibility to charge, etc., etc., etc. So that's a great technology. And if it takes a minute, I possibly think that's the way forward. I don't know much about NIO, but I think it's quite a clever idea. Personally, I think the batteries should get smaller. Then there's a lot of research to do. But let's have a look at a BYD battery swapping station. Sorry, a NIO battery swapping station. I'll get it right in the end. So with all this palaver which is going on, do have a look at some other channels related to EV charging, EVs, BYD, NIO, Porsche, for example, Tesla, it goes on. And a lot will be positive reviews and you feel like they're being promoted by the actual company. While on the other hand, you do have some negatives there, but there seem to be less. Now, maybe I'm wrong. EVs, yeah, they are the future. Unfortunately, no way to look at it. And the prerogative is being shoved down our throat. And we will have no choice in another 10 or 20 years that if you want to buy a new car, it's just going to be electric. Would I buy one now? No, not in a million years, because the technology it's too new and it's unrefined yet. If I had a choice, I would go for the Tesla. The main reason is they have been producing electric vehicles for quite a long time, while BYD for their production vehicles is only a short period of time. You want a sense of reliability. For example, I will show you this. This is my Apple Pencil 2. Now, why didn't I get the Apple Pencil 1? Because I will never buy the first product. I will wait for a year or two for it to be developed. And this is a really good pencil. It's like 2.5, maybe 3 years old, still works 100%. Because the first one is always sort of like the one that goes wrong and there's lots of things which are not complete and they're waiting for consumer feedback. The second one is usually going to be better. So with electric cars, you could see within 5 years, will it get better? You actually think that you hope so. So they become user-friendly. The battery charging is going to be faster. The batteries are going to be smaller. The batteries are going to be cheaper. So it's just like there won't be much difference between a gas guzzling car and an electric car. And that's the conversion, and that's what the people have got to be honestly persuaded about. Not at the moment. And you can see around the world that EV vehicle production and people buying is slowing down. They're going, at first it was go, wow, yes, I'm going to save the environment, and saving the environment is a good thing. But in the end, at the end of the day, well, it's too new. And that's why sales are dropping. And I think people are going back to gas guzzling cars, petrol fueled cars, the internal combustion engine. What do you think? I know there's going to be some people who have electric vehicles. I'm just doing constructive criticism in a positive and a negative way, in a, you could say, possibly impartial way. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm very open-minded. So comments below, please do. And if there's any links that you want to put in with other channels, the good things about BYDs, the bad things about BYDs, the good things about Tesla, the bad things about Tesla, or any other brand. What do you think of the NIO battery car swap? It's a great idea. It really is a good idea, but it's a subscription, how much do you have to pay for it, etc., etc. The list goes on. And again, it's very early days of the international market for electric vehicles. Thank you so much for your time. If you are at the end, and because this is recorded on Saturday the 30th of December 2023, I will wish you a happy new year, and I hope you have a great celebration welcoming in 2024. And don't forget that like, subscribe, share, notifications, and if you want to support the channel, then you can click some of the links in the description below, from super thanks to being a member or onto my Patreon account. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.